We live. Yo. Welcome back to the No Cut Sports Podcast with your host, now Frazier. And y'all already know, man. Y'all see this face? We got some things to talk about pertaining to the Philadelphia Eagles, man. But before we get started, if y'all could for me, man, please like, comment, and subscribe to always catch this vibe. I greatly appreciate all my subscribers, everybody that's been subscribing to me recently. As y'all know, this was not the type of season that we were looking for. Yo, shout out to my man D. Shout out to my man D, man. We've been bickering all morning about this little 49ers and Eagles game. So shout out to my boy. But ain't the season that we panned out for. First off, shout out to the 49ers. I ain't no hater. Man. Shout out to the 49ers. They came in here and cleaned us up. Um, but just talking more about what I'm looking for this upcoming off season. As y'all know, I'm tired of Kevin Patullo. I don't want to see him here no more in the Philadelphia area, the Lincoln Financial Field, the locker room, anything like that. Recently, a video came out. Richard Sherman, and if you know Richard Sherman's on, he's just a little sportscaster now, so he do his little spills during the games with Ryan Fitzpatrick and some other players. I want to say Tony Gonzalez and things like that. But long story short, Richard Sherman was getting interviewed, and Ryan Fitzpatrick and Kevin Patullo are good friends. And Kevin Patullo told Ryan Fitzpatrick that he does not understand why he is getting the criticism that he's getting, as well as, make sure I don't get this wrong, that is not his fault, and people do not understand the inner workings of this offense. Now, a lot can be said. A lot can be said. A lot can be said. Okay. Will I say it all today? I don't know. But to me, that just sounds like some BS. All due respect. I feel like as a man, you should be able to take. If you're not doing a good job, take your loss to the chin. Just like I'm taking my loss to the 49ers to the chin, because we didn't go out here and we ain't perform the way we were supposed to. But it's not even so much just this game. All season we've been talking. I want to say I went to the Tampa Bay game week 4. Okay. So I seen this with my own two eyes. I seen this with my own two eyes. First half, they getting it popping. We all watch the game. And in the second half, they come out with no type of like y'all winning the game. Y'all don't look excited to get back on the field and finish this game off, finish this team off. And from there, game after game, you're starting to see these little things where it's like, dang man, why are we running the ball on 3rd and 13? Why we you know what I'm saying? Why third and second, why 3rd and 2? We throwing the ball all crazy deep. So, and there's times that you can do that when you set up the offense, but I feel like overall, this whole season was just a waste. I understood coming off of a Super Bowl, most teams don't go back. So I already kind of had that in the back of my mind. But at the same time, the way that this team was constructed, being a younger team, Vic Fangio still had the defense playing at a higher level this year, maybe even better than last year. But I just don't understand how they continue to allow this to keep happening. And I'm talking about the organization as well, but they allowed this to happen all season. I think there was a moment in time where Jeffrey Lurie came out and had said some things when the AJ Brown situation was going on, but even AJ Brown warned us about this offense and how it wasn't going to be what we were expecting. He said use the 49ers as an example. Even with a banged up team, that's where the coaching has to step up. Simple and plain. I can't say no better. But and just piggybacking off what my man said, the coaching has never stepped up. It never got better. And in all due respect, and I hate to say this, since Nick Sirianni's been here, has the offense got this? Has the scheme got any different? Has it gotten any better? This is all what AJ Brown was trying to tell people. This is what he was trying to convey to people when he was sitting there saying what he was saying. He wasn't trying. I don't feel like he was coming from a malicious place. I just felt like he's a football player. He's out here. He's been here for a few years now. I'm doing the same thing every year. I'm running the same routes every year. What do they think he can't run any different routes? Do they think he can't be using the slot? Always got to keep him as the X on the outside, whatever the case may be. I don't know. Same thing with Jahan Dotson. We have to remember we have 2 first-round picks at wide receiver, regardless of what number wide receiver they are. Jahan Dotson and Devontae Smith, Heisman winner, first round. Jahan Dotson's a first round draft pick. You not even utilizing the talent that you have. Tank Bigsby. How many times did we ask to see Tank Bigsby run the ball? And then we see in his second in his last game how good Tank Bigsby was moving, even in the Washington game. It's like stuff to me just don't make sense when it comes to Nick Sirianni and some of the things that he does. I know a lot of people sit here and talk about, him taking us to 2 Super Bowls. Well, did he take us to 2 Super Bowls? Did he? A very talented team, but when I remember us going to the Super Bowl, I'm Kellen Moore, Shane Steichen, two offensive coordinators that have called plays before and know how to call plays and scheme plays, sequence plays, and all that good stuff. That wasn't Nick Sirianni. Even Doug Peterson, when we went to the Super Bowl, he was calling plays. And that was always my big thing with Nick Sirianni. For him to be this offensive minded coach or this offensive guru that they put this label on him. I don't know who put it on him, but when he came in here, that's what they said he was. I have yet to see that. Then that clip when they run the 4 verts in the last play of the game. Why are we running 4 verts? He can't run nothing else. Nothing. Like it just to me just don't make it doesn't make any sense. And for it to be Tuesday at 2:45 as I'm recording this, I have still yet to get an ESPN notification saying that Kevin Patullo's been fired. There's plenty of OCs out here, and I don't know what they're going. I don't know how I really feel about this, but I feel like with Nick Sirianni being the head coach, you don't call the plays. You arguing with your players on the sideline and stuff like that for whatever our reason. I still don't know what happened between that situation. And then you lied to us all season talking about we found our identity. We never found it. And once again, you're a first round exit in the playoffs. When you give him, you can make the decisions on who you want and this, that, and the third. That's who he went and picked. This is your man. This like Dante, that's my man. You feel me? This is your man that's been with you. He's been with you for years, and you can't even run his offense. Like what? Like what? Like what are we talking about here? And then for him to come out here and say it's not his fault, I really want you going about the city. I really want you going, bro. And for that to be Nick, man, I kind of want you going too, because my thing is this: birds of a feather flock together. You must be thinking that too. It ain't my fault. All season had time to adjust, bro. Like y'all never adjusted. And they had the 49ers, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but this is why I say coaching matters. The 49ers, this is think about this. Fred Warner was not playing. Y'all still got Greenlaw, my fault. But I think Fred Warner and Greenlaw? I don't think either one of them were playing. These is people like me off the street. Now, I don't play football. But my thing is this. These is people off the street. And main man came off the street and got a sack. Like, what? They got Bryce Huff out here looking like the second coming of Jesus out here and whatnot. And I'm like, bro, what is going on? What is going on? George Kittle tears, I think, when he tears ACL, he tore his ACL and he's missing he's missing for the rest of the game. They still couldn't take advantage of it. Quinyon, 2 picks. 6 points in between, 3 or 6 points in between them 2 picks that he got. And you expect me, people like, oh, it's the player execution. When you tell me if you're buying into something that you know ain't been working. When they lost them first 2 to 3 games, we should have knew then, like, yo, what's going on? But then they come out and they play against lesser talent of a team. Yes, these are NFL teams, but these are lesser talented teams. And put up a quick 25, quick 30. But most of the season, they were scoring like around 19 to 20, like maybe 23, 22 points. It wasn't that much. And niggas on the sideline just watching this crap. You're the coach. Get engaged. Implement something. Adjust something. Do something. No, we want to keep running it up the middle into traffic. I don't understand that. Yes, I know the offensive line is bad, and we're going to talk about that too, because Lane Johnson should have been on IR. Cam Jurgens, how he is a Pro Bowl, I have no clue. Terrible all season. I'm like, what? We had to sign Kendricks for free, bro. Kendricks for free agency. He said all of our first and second and third on IR. I think Fred Warner might be coming back either next week if y'all win that game or the following, which what was that, the NFC Championship game if I'm not mistaken. So you probably be getting him back. But they had Robert Saleh and Kyle Shanahan go out here and run a coaching clinic against the Philadelphia Eagles. And this is why I say coaching matters. When you have a coach that's engaged like Kyle Shanahan and Robert Saleh, I'm not trying to come at the defense because honestly, the defense did their job all year. You can't expect a defense to carry y'all into the playoffs and continue to keep winning y'all games if y'all can't score no points. You can't. You just can't. You can't even remarkably think like that. And then how he thinks about the offense being conservative after they score so many points, running the most hitch routes, hitch routes, excuse me, in the league this year. When there's a ton of other routes that you can run. He said, "Let's hope." Hey man, listen, I told you what I told you, my boy. I told you what I told you. But my thing is this, CD. One thing I can say about the 49ers, y'all always have a chance because of your coach. You will always have a chance because of your coach. He's a smart coach. He knows how to utilize the players that he has. It don't matter if it's an AJ Brown talent or not to say Jennings is a bad player, but he's not. It's not. They're comparable, but they're not comparable. You feel me? One might be a tad bit better than the other, but he know how to use them. You feel what I'm saying? Like he know how to use his players. Nick Sirianni does not know how to do that. The OC, Kevin Batula, does not know how to do that. And I'm tired of seeing that crap. And for the Philadelphia Eagles, they already had, when you had Andy Reid in here, took us to the NFC Championship games. We lost most of them, but then when we did win the one, we went to the Super Bowl. I don't know how we got away from getting, having somebody that can bring in their own offense, run their own offense, even call plays as a head coach, to having Nick Sirianni and his best friend F this all away. We really should still be in the playoffs. Now, I'm not going to sit there and say win the Super Bowl, whatever the case may be, but at least get back to the NFC Championship game, if not the Super Bowl, with what we had. Very healthy team for the most part. Like I said, O-line's been banged up for most of the season, so I can understand, some of the struggles we have had, but like some of the plays that you're running, elementary style plays, man. I just never, I just couldn't understand how they sat here and they watched this all season, man. All season. So now my whole thing is this, okay? Because I know I've been rambling on for OC because they ain't. I know they're gonna fire him because that's what the reports have been. I think Adam Schefter came out and said there would be major changes uh, on the offensive coaching staff. Like I said, at this point, everybody can go to the head coach all the way down because I feel like they're holding this, especially Nick. I feel like he's really holding his offense back, bro. I really do. I think they need to bring in an OC that I don't. You ain't got to be young, but you got to be. What's the word I'm looking for? More up to date, a little bit more motion. Getting like Kyle Shanahan and them, they run a motion to help their quarterback see, what defensive schemes that the teams presenting to him. They give him options, give him hot routes and stuff like. And don't get me wrong, Brock Purdy had 2 interceptions, but he took the chances around over the middle of the field. Sometimes that's just what's going to happen. Now, luckily enough, we weren't able to score per usual. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not always going to pan out, but he's taking the chances. We don't even utilize the middle of the field. Tom Brady was saying it during the game. Nick Foles too during the game. Like they don't utilize the middle of the field. Like he said, Kyle struggled with the defense calling from the Kansas City Super Bowl and the playoff exit last year. Kyle went and got Saleh back. Yeah, all due respect, Robert Saleh is. And don't get me wrong, buddy, that y'all had last year. Because all due respect, not last year, but the year before that, I felt like I went away from the running game though, D. Y'all had Christian McCaffrey that first half. He was running, you know what I'm saying? He was getting busy. Then that second half, they didn't use him as much, and they started throwing the ball through the air. Brandon Ayuk, the crazy catch, and then if I can remember right, and I want to say Debo might have had one too, but I can't remember. Only Super Bowl I remember is the one after that. If you if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so, but nah, man. But I think Kyle Shanahan's a good coach. It's just, you got to be able to dial up that right play at the right time if it's one of those close games. So, um, but yeah, man, shout out to the 49ers. I ain't mad at them. They came in here and they did what they were supposed to do. But at the end of the day, if the Eagles didn't see anything, they should have saw that they need a real offensive coordinator and an offensive head coach. Not what Frank Reich, and no disrespect. I know everybody talk about Frank Reich, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but Frank Reich not coaching in the NFL right now. He not coaching. I know people got respect for him. He's from the area and things like that, but he's not coaching in the NFL. You feel what I'm saying? Like, my thing is, I don't know what feel he got for the game right now. And he told y'all go get Nick Sirianni, and y'all went and got him. But y'all interviewed Kellen Moore and Nick at the same time and hired Nick Sirianni just to bring Kellen Moore in here to have him win you a Super Bowl, running your offense. My man, so I'm getting up out of here after this, man. Like, what is this nonsense? What are y'all running here? What are y'all running here, man? Make no sense, bro. Make no sense. Now we gotta get prepared for the draft because you ain't want to take your job serious. Like, I have not. I'm telling you, I have yet to see Nick Sirianni's offense evolve into something. Smitty just came out yesterday and said, "Yeah, we've been running the same scheme since I've been here." Now you can be running this. Don't get me wrong. You can run the same scheme. Don't get me wrong, but it's the same scheme. I'm talking about same routes, same plays, no tendencies off the plays. Like, just seems so limited to me for an NFL playbook. Like, some of the stuff that they run, very very weird to me. And some people will say, well, nah, it's a pretty good, it's a pretty good offense that they run, and they just didn't execute. I understand that too, but this is not this operation that they're running with this head coach and him needing to bring some offensive coordinator that has competence to run his offense. To me, just never made sense. Because then what is Nick Sirianni doing? I can find Big Dom can keep everybody together at this point. What? Talking about Nick Sirianni here keeping the guys. Man, Big Dom can keep everybody together for all that. I need somebody in here that can call something more than four verticals on the last play for 11 yards. I need somebody that can adjust during the game. It ain't even gotta be during the game, the following game. Not in your mind. You think like, oh, because we're who we are, we're better than y'all, we can do what we want. No, you have a struggling offensive line, but you want to keep running the ball up the middle. You know those two players are struggling. Bounce that thing to the outside. And then the Lane Johnson situation, never getting put on IR. He supposed to come back. Look, he supposed to come back. I'm on the Philadelphia Eagles page. They must not got the memo. I'm thinking he coming back. And then right before the game, no, he's not playing. Buddy should have been on IR. Should have been on IR, man. Got me all excited. I'm thinking he gonna be able to put both in the ground. You know what I'm saying? Got me all excited just for us to lose. We lost, Skip. We lost. Like, come on, man. Like, I just don't understand. So I'm expecting some significant changes on this offensive coaching staff. Like, to the point where, like, I appreciate Nick Sirianni for getting us a Super Bowl, but bro, I'm just about done. Because this is a pattern now. Anytime he can't find a competent OC to call his offense, this is what you're going to get. A first round exit, even if you make it to the playoffs. Because even then, other teams are getting better. We can't expect that to think like, oh, we gonna always make it. It just don't work like that. Teams are getting better every year. Every team, well, most teams' goals are to make, Super Bowl runs. The Browns, teams like that, the Raiders. we know it's going to take them a little bit longer to get their situation together so they can make that run to a Super Bowl or even be in the playoffs. Excuse me. But the Philadelphia Eagles right now have a team on both sides of the ball that is ready and willing. We just won a Super Bowl. We should have still been playing to win another one. But I've always said, and people want to sit there and say, it's Jalen Hurts. If it's Jalen Hurts, I will say that as well. But until I got that information, I know when Jalen Hurts has a proper offensive play caller that plays to his strengths and the team's strengths, they can go to a Super Bowl. When we get a play caller that's never called plays before, even Brian Johnson, had a better ranked offense than what the hell Kevin Patullo's putting out here on the field. A way better offense. And they fired him. So KP, what you thought I was gonna have some sympathy? Because I was really trying to give my man grace because I really wanted the continuity here for the Philadelphia Eagles offense, but not this type of continuity. He gonna mess around and give me a early stroke or a heart attack, man. I'm finna be 33. Like, what? Sitting here watching this game every week, about to give me a heart attack because you want to run on 3rd and 13. Who does that? Who does that? There's no way Mr. Lurie sitting up there in the box, sitting there like he done owned this team since 2000. I know he know what look good and what look bad, and that don't look right at all. Man, I ain't, bro. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. I'm very hot, not upset like because we lost. Because like I said, the signs have been on the wall all year. Like I said, I went to the Tampa Bay game. I seen how they came out, how they almost lost that game, and then they lost those few games before the bye. I'm like, what is what is going on? And then you want to chalk it up to it being first time play caller. You know, he's still trying to get his rings and things like that. But you never seen it get better. If anything, it looked like it was getting worse. Then you get the AJ Brown situation, him coming out sitting there saying about, you know, the offense needs to get better, which he was absolutely correct. I'm not going to sit there and say that everything that AJ Brown did throughout the season was something that I could completely agree with. I wish, you know, he go a different avenue doing or saying certain things. But what AJ Brown said about this offense was totally correct. And I don't know if that's a shot at KP. I don't know if that's a shot at Nick. I don't. But to me, this is Nick's offense, regardless if KP's calling it or not. At the end of the day, Nick has the final say as the head coach. This is his offense. So, but it was told to us by AJ Brown. If you listen to some of the press conferences after the game, you hear Jalen Hurts talking about us needing to be more aggressive. Devontae Smith is needing to be more aggressive. They've been saying it all season, and for this to be the outcome that we have, bro, it just should never had been this, bro. At least you can win one game, bro. They couldn't even win one game to the point where AJ Brown didn't even want to talk to the media. Left his jersey, assigned jersey for Q. You know what I mean? And I know people are speculating about him too as well. Is he going to be here next year? Is he going to leave? Last time I checked, AJ Brown was under contract. I know his what is his cap number is like a little over 20. If you do the post June cut, it's like 20 million. I do think too that AJ Brown is getting older. I don't know how old he is now. What is he, 28, 29, or 27, 28? I can't remember, but you know, he's getting up there in the age, and he's talked about, you know, having to get his knee drained multiple times before games and things like that throughout the week. Uh, so I know, you know, it catches up with you sooner or later. But this year, I just felt like between him just being upset, really not buying in, because he wasn't even doing some of the little things. And I could talk about that too. Like, I love AJ to death, but he wasn't doing some of them little things with the blocking and things like that. Saquon, who, yeah, he said 26. Yeah, Saquon wasn't who he needed to be this year. And he said that as well. But that's more or less. I'm not going to sit there and say you don't need to be better, but the offensive line helped with that. They weren't good at all this year neither. I even said about Cam Jurgens with his back injury. I'm like, man, having a back injury, regardless if it's a minor surgery or if it's a major surgery, you want to bring somebody in here. And I had said, my one of my biggest concerns going into that 49ers game was the fact that Brett Toth was in concussion protocol, so you couldn't even take Cam out if you wanted to. It's like all season they just ignored the commonalities that they should have been doing. Running Tank Bigsby more. Where was that at? Now I hope we resign him, he stay, but where where was that at? That's all the stuff I'm naming is coaching. This is coaching. You just never got it. You never seen it. You just never seen it. So it's cool and all, but I need to see some changes. Like I said, I need that ESPN going off on my phone saying KP's been fired, Reports from Adam Schefter. KP gone. And Nick close, he getting close to being gone too, because I'm telling you, we're going to keep getting the same thing year in and year out. We're going to get a good OC. Say we get Mike McDaniels. Any competent OC will be able to get a head coaching job if they take this OC job. Any competent coach, because you have all the pieces. You feel what I'm saying? Then you give it to KP and you see what you get. Bro, we barely got a Honda Accord engine, okay? Barely got a Toyota pup. We was operating like a Hyundai engine, if anything. So like, what? I just, bro, I just can't believe, like, I woke up this morning, I'm like, bro, sitting there watching ESPN, I'm like, bro, I really can't believe they allowed this to happen all season up until this point once again. Once again, bro. Whoa, 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 whoa. I said Hyundai, not Honda. Not Honda, Hyundai. My boy couldn't even get us a Honda offense, Toyota offense. Right. He gave us the Hyundai offense, bro. Come on, man. After 100,000 miles, 50,000 miles, that thing taking a little, you know what I'm saying, off a cliff. You gonna tell me what I said, man. He supposed to be working first and foremost. Me stop playing. Stop playing. No, sure. My Dodge is still running, man. What you mean? Shoot. But yeah, man. So, but like I said, man, overall, won the season that we wanted to have. Got to get ready for the draft. I did see a few players that I did want in their defensive players, but now I need to start looking at the offensive players because I don't know exactly what's going to transpire with the AJ Brown situation. Me personally, I don't think AJ Brown's going anywhere. I just felt like that was his plea to get a real head coach and an offensive coordinator here in this building. Because I've said it before on this show that these are athletes that have a small window to do the things that they can do and get paid for the things that they can do. And when you get incompetence at coaching, like Nick Sirianni's been putting out there, this is, you know what I'm saying. I'm pissed too. I'm flipping out too. So, like I said, he's not. You know, they got to take some blame too for how he was this season as well. But like I said, man, overall, some got to change. Hopefully, we hear something soon. I'm expecting to hear something by the end of the week because time's winding down. I see Mike McDaniels has a couple of offensive coordinator and head coaching jobs, interviews and things like that. So I'm gonna be following that. But there's some other players. I mean, OCs out there like Bobby Slowick. I even talked about used to be, was he the OC? I mean, Andy Reid was the OC. Bieniemy. Somebody like him because I feel like they need to bring somebody in here like Vic Fangio. There's excuse my French. There's no bullshit. Like you ain't doing your effing job. Like go cry, whatever you want to go do, but you're not doing your job. Period. So that's what they need because this is at the end of the day, like the coaching is subpar on the offensive side. I don't care what nobody say. Subpar. People sitting here talking about he was the like KP was the passing game coordinator last year. I didn't like the passing game last year neither. Simple behind routes. Simplistic. No flavor in this offense at all. Like, and this is what you get. A first round exit. First round exit. Nick told us he had all the answers. I ain't seen not one. So a lot of people to blame, man. But Kevin Patullo's number one, man. Nick Sirianni's next, and then we got to just see how it go after that because time is running out, man. It's running out. So, like I said, they got some OCs out there. Brian Leftwich is another one we talked about on here last stream. Maybe somebody Indiana's college's coach or OC, whatever the case may be, out of college. But whoever they bring in here, man, just if they stick with the same way of doing things, we're going to bring somebody in here, and he's going to be going next year, and we're going to be right back in the same situation. Nick got to go. Need a coach that can call plays, bro. I've been saying that, bro. I've been saying that. Been saying it because I don't know when you got up in here, but just think about the coaches right now that are still in the playoffs. All right. You got the 49ers, Kyle Shanahan, they call their plays. Rams, Sean McVay, he calls his plays. Who else we got? Ben Johnson, he calls his plays. Uh, the Seahawks, I don't know. I think they got an OC though. I want to say they got an OC, but he's a pretty decent OC. He definitely gonna get a head coaching job. He calls the plays. So somebody at least on his staff has to be offensively minded. I'm not talking about a Nick Sirianni offensive mind because what offensive mind does he have that he can't even fix his own offense? You can't even adjust your own offense. I want somebody in here that really know the X's and O's, how to scheme players open instead of putting a bunch of wide receivers in the same area. Like stuff like that just don't make sense to me. It don't make sense. And they sat there and they watched that crap every week. Like every week. Like I don't know, and I'm sorry, but I really just couldn't tell you what Nick Sirianni do here, bro. Like I said earlier, I don't care about you holding, keeping this culture together. What's the culture? Losing? Because when you don't have a proper OC, we lose, bro. Stupid. Like so, man, we just gotta see what they do. I don't think. Let me go in real quick before I hop off. Um, I want to see if anything was on Twitter. See if they got that famous and Kevin Patula's been fired. So um let's see. Refresh this. They on here talking about it like other people, but I don't see anything just yet. Everybody's adding the Eagles though. Like we're waiting, by the way. I added them earlier. Like if you need me to break the news to Buddy, I'll break it to him. Like I ain't sitting here trying to preserve nobody's feelings, but if this is a case like, now I don't know if some of y'all know, but the reason why Doug Peterson ended up getting fired was because he didn't want to let go of Press Taylor. So if it's a situation where Kevin Patullo is supposed to be getting fired, and Nick is like, I want to keep him here in some type of capacity, and they not trying to hear that, he gonna be going too. Simple and plain, and we just gonna be looking for a head coach at this point. But you can kill two birds with one stone. I mean, this is my thing. I would want a head coach that knows how to call plays, like a Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan. But at the same time, bringing an OC, it ain't got to be nobody like prolific, but somebody in here that might have a different way of looking at things. Because you might see things one way all the time, and it might not be right all the time. You might need to bounce ideas off of one another, and you know what I'm saying, to get the best outcome. And I also even talked about, if y'all remember when Vic Fangio was here in the 22 season when we went to the Super Bowl, he was here consulting the offense. He was consulting the offense, not the defense. And I kept saying all season, why doesn't KP just walk his happy ass down to Vic Fangio's office? Office, and ask him about the offense. What do you think I need to be doing better besides running all these hitch routes? Maybe end breaker routes. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Slant here, something. Like pure mediocrity all season. Then it leads me to believe that you're just an egotistical person because it's like, bro, you ain't scoring more than 19 points. I should try something different. Like, come bruh. I just don't understand that. They had every resource in that building to have a better offense. Every resource. And you still got this crap. Y'all let this man pick this man at OC, and he has never called a play a day in his life. And y'all wanted us to believe that crap, and we seen it within the first few weeks that this was not going to work. To the point that your player said this crap, it wasn't going to work. We need to get this offense better. Execution is a big thing on offense, but bruh, this offense never was good. Ever. Ever, bruh. The turnover battles and all that, like, I understand it, but did that work for us this past game? Brock Purdy threw 2 picks, and we lost, Skip. We lost. Like, bro, I tell you, man. But listen, I've been on here for 34 minutes. I just wanted to hop on here, get my thoughts out. Ooh, excuse me. Talk a little bit to y'all people. I do see we got 7 people in here. If y'all could, for me, like, comment, and subscribe if you like what you've been hearing. The videos ain't gonna stop either because I know it's the off season for the Philadelphia Eagles. But we got, still got the rest of this season left. They got to get to the Super Bowl, but then we're going to be talking about, the draft. We also got to see what they do with the offensive coordinator, because hopefully they get that situated. I'd rather get that in place first, and then you figure out who you want uh, this upcoming draft with the what is it? Like, I think 8 or 13 picks or something like that. So they do have a lot of picks coming up. That's why I'm really not too worried. But the biggest thing this offseason is getting this situation with the coaching right. Like you got Clint Hurt and Bobby King, the Washburn, CP. Uh, you know what I'm saying? You got so many different good coaches on that defense. Who am I going to name on the offense? Exactly. So we need to get that situation cleaned up, get some better names in here, some better brains in here. And then Howie, yes, absolute. And then Howie we trust, man. We already know how we gonna keep us lit on the player side, getting us who we need to get, signing who we need to sign. We will be, missing some players now. Don't forget, a lot of players do need to get signed this off season. We can't sign them all, so something else we got to see. I did see, Reed Blankenship and the Kobe Dean, give their exit press conferences for the season. Um, I understand how this goes though, man. Like I used to be one of those guys. Like I love this player, I love that player, but after this season and the 23 season, bro, I'm more or less like love the guys, but I'm an Eagles fan. I want the organization to bring home another Super Bowl. The team ain't always going to be the same, so I appreciate the guys and the things that they do for the team. Like I said, we can't bring everybody back, but like my man said, we just going to have to enjoy Cancun this season. So it is what it is, man. But with that being said, like I said, if y'all could for me, man, like, comment, and subscribe to always catch this vibe. I'm gonna try to go live. I hate giving y'all a day I don't go live. I'm gonna just try to go live. Man, I was only on here for like 40 minutes, so if I can do like 30, 40 minutes, maybe tomorrow or the day after. But I really want to get on here after they make the decision about the OC, and then we start getting reports about who they're thinking about bringing in. But the kicker will really be if they fire him and Nick. That'd be the kicker. I don't think a lot of people like think that's going to happen, but me personally, if the Eagles want to move in a direction and take if the Eagles want to take if winning serious to the Philadelphia Eagles, they have to do something else with this coaching situation, bro. I'm sorry. Like, love Nick, appreciate the Super Bowl, but get somebody in here that really knows how to call plays and adjust an offense, bro. And we wouldn't have had these problems. Howie gave you the team that you needed to win Super Bowls, and he can't do that. So, I mean, I'm not trying to be rude by saying that, but like you brought your friend in here, and he's an extension of you, and he couldn't even get you make you look good at this point. So it is what it is. I don't know what the Philadelphia Eagles going to do, but that's just how I'm feeling at this moment in time. I know a lot of people, they might be saying I'm a little, you tripping, record this, that, and the third. I don't care what y'all think, man. Really don't, because I've seen the pattern. 23 and now, nothing has changed, bro. When it's up to him, he can't figure it out. So we need somebody in here that can figure things out. I think it might happen to Doug, like you said. It might, man. It definitely might. He said, "Whoa, Nick too." Hell yeah, bro. I'm not sparing nobody. Because all due respect, I feel like Kellen Moore is the reason why we won last year. I don't feel like it was Nick. Like I said earlier, Kellen Moore and Nick, if y'all remember, Kellen Moore and Nick both came in here at the time where they were supposed to be interviewing for the head job, the head coaching position. The Eagles chose Nick. And I still I can't give you a proper reason why as to why they did that. Couldn't give you a reason why, just to have this man come in here as your OC, and I'm talking about Kellen Moore, and win you a Super Bowl. He calling the plays. Well, what you talking about? So it is what it is, man. But like I said, like, comment, and subscribe to always catch this vibe. I'm your host, Niall Frazier. Really appreciate everybody that got a chance to stop through, throw your comments in there and things like that. Just be on the lookout probably tomorrow. But I'm hoping I'm probably gonna go live before the end of the week. I'll just say that much. But if they give out that information, I ain't got nothing here now. If they give out that information anytime soon, I will be back on this joint. So with that being said, like I said, it's now from the No Cut Sports Podcast. Greatly appreciate y'all for watching. If you could for me, please like, comment, and subscribe to always catch this vibe. And before we get up out of here, man, can I get a go Birds, man? Go Birds. So I'm gonna holler at y'all, man. Y'all be safe. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do, man.